Yesterday, my friend sent me this screenshot of his rent payments. I want you to look closely. In just 5 months, his rent went from $1,961 per month to $2,236. That's a $275 increase for the exact same apartment. But here's the crazy part. His rent didn't actually increase. The dollar's purchasing power decreased against the euro. This is the hidden tax that's silently eating away at your business profits right now, even as you scale to higher revenue numbers. And in this video, I'm going to show you why making more money isn't the solution and what smart entrepreneurs and business owners are doing instead. What's up, everybody? My name is Brian Moncada. I'm the founder of adspend.com, and we help coaches, consultants, course creators, and agency owners scale using YouTube ads and AI systems. But today, I want to talk about something that affects every single business owner I work with, from those making $30K a month to those scaling past multiple six figures per month in their business. It's a problem that's getting worse by the day, not just for entrepreneurs, but also for everyday people like, your parents or your family that have regular jobs, and they don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. So let's first start by breaking down what exactly is happening in my friend's screenshot. He lives in Europe, okay, but he pays his rent in dollars. The actual euro amount of his rent hasn't changed, but look at how many more dollars he needs to pay each and every month. February, it was $1,961 for rent. In March, $2,008, which is a $47 increase. In April, $2,049, a $41 increase. And in May, $2,141, a $92 increase. In June, $2,150, which is only a $9 increase from the month before. And then July, a $2,236 rent payment due, which is a plus $86 increase. That's a 14% increase in just 5 months. And it's not because his landlord raised the rent. It's because the dollar, the US dollar, is losing value compared to the euro. Now you might be thinking, Brian, this doesn't affect me, okay? I don't pay anything in euros. But here's the thing. This same process is happening with everything you buy, no matter where you are in the world. Your office space, your software subscriptions, your groceries, your team's salaries, everything is getting more expensive, not because the actual value is increasing, but because the dollar, the US world reserve currency, is decreasing in purchasing power. Let me show you another example. Since 2020, okay, the US has printed roughly 80% of all dollars in existence since COVID, okay? Think about that for a second. 80% of all dollars were created in just the last few years. Now let me ask you, what do you think happens when you just instantly increase the supply of something that's supposed to be scarce and valuable? What happens to its valuable? It goes down. It's no longer worth as much because there's so much more of it in the marketplace. This is why you are feeling squeezed even as your business grows. You might be making more in dollars, more revenue, more top line, but each dollar you have is buying you less and less in the real world. Okay? And I work with a lot of agency owners and coaches who are focused on scaling from $30,000 a month to $100K a month plus in profit. And that's a great goal. I help them do exactly that with YouTube ads and AI systems, but most of them have no idea that this is even happening to them. If you're just focused on making money without addressing this hidden tax on your life and your business, you're literally just running on a treadmill that's getting steeper and steeper every single month, making it harder and harder for you to actually keep it. So let's do some simple math. If your business is making $30,000 a month right now, and the dollar loses 10% of its value over the next year, which is a conservative estimate given the recent trends, you'd need to make $33,000 just to maintain the same purchasing power. Now scale that to $100,000 a month, and you need to make $110,000 just to stay in place. That's an extra $120,000 per year just to break even with inflation. And it gets worse. As you scale, your expenses scale too. You hire more team members. You invest in better tools and software. Maybe you get a nicer office space if you have an in-person team. All of these costs are also subject to this hidden tax. So you might be celebrating hitting that $100,000 a month milestone, but in reality, it might have the same purchasing power that $70,000 had just a few years ago. This is why so many business owners feel like they're working harder than ever, but not getting ahead. And entrepreneurs and everyday people as well. They're making more money on paper, but they're not actually building real wealth. They're not getting rich. So if scaling alone isn't the answer, then what is? Well, the solution has two parts. First, you still need to grow your business revenue, okay? Obviously, that's not negotiable. You want to continue increasing your revenue and your business's income. You want to keep increasing that skill set, okay? Keep providing more value to the marketplace. But second, and this is the part most people miss, you need to store that value in something that cannot be debased. And this is where Bitcoin comes in. Unlike the dollar, which can be printed infinitely, and we've seen it since COVID in 2020 when they just made 80% more of the dollars in circulation ever that have been in existence, Bitcoin has a fixed supply of only 21 million coins. No one, not a government, not a central bank, can create more. This scarcity is what makes Bitcoin such a powerful tool for business owners and entrepreneurs and everyday people. When you convert some of your business profits to Bitcoin or your income, you're essentially moving your wealth from a leaky bucket, okay, basically ice cubes that continue melting, and they're not going to stop melting because you're holding them in your hand, and the more you hold them, the longer you hold them, the faster they'll melt. You want to move your business profits and your income from that leaky bucket to a secure vault. So let me show you what this looks like in practice. And I'm going to show you a quick diagram of business profit allocation with this motion graphic right here. The business owners I work with who are thriving despite the hidden tax typically follow this model, okay? They maintain 3 to 6 months of operating expenses in dollars. They reinvest a portion of the business profits back into growth, into paid advertising like ads on YouTube to acquire more clients and more customers to scale their business and grow their top line revenue. They also invest back into team members or to software or to AI infrastructures like AI agents that can actually reduce their overhead costs, reduce their payroll, increase their profits, and increase their service delivery and fulfillment. They also convert a significant portion of the remaining profits to Bitcoin personally. Now, this approach gives you the best of both worlds. You have the cash you need to run and grow your business, but you're also protecting your wealth personally from the hidden tax of currency debasement, aka money printing. So for example, I have a coaching client who I won't name on this video, but they make anywhere from 150 to 200K in their business every single month with at least a minimum of $50,000 in profit. The problem, however, is that they weren't investing any of that profit into long-term wealth building assets. They were just spending their money. They were treating their business checking account like a personal checking account. And whatever was left over after spending, maybe they would invest back into the business, or maybe they would invest into something personal. They didn't have a budget for their personal life or even for their business. They just paid themselves whatever made sense or felt good in that specific month. That's what they did. But after learning about Bitcoin and this hidden tax and the reason why they're not getting ahead because they're not actually storing their value in an asset that cannot be debased, and realizing they were not being smart about their finances, they took my advice and decided to sell some extra cars they didn't need, pay off their remaining debt, and begin investing their business profits personally into Bitcoin. So now they can try to get to a minimum of one whole Bitcoin before it's too late, before the rest of the world like you watching this video catch on, because still today, most people don't understand the problem that we have in front of us. So hopefully by now you realize the problem, okay? Making more money isn't the answer. You can always make more money, but the money you make is decreasing in value. So now that you understand that, and now that you know Bitcoin can actually help you combat that, how do you actually implement this into your business? Here's a simple framework, okay? Step 1, determine your essential operating expenses for your business. How much cash do you need to keep your business running for 3 to 6 months? This is your war chest, okay? This is your cash reserves. So if anything happens to you or to your business, or for whatever reason you just can't make any money in 3 months, you're fine. You can still cover your payroll, you can still cover your overhead, you can still cover your expenses. This is why having a war chest is very, very important. And not just for business owners and entrepreneurs, even for everyday people that have regular jobs. You need an emergency fund, but this emergency fund should be the minimal amount for an emergency. Nothing more than 3 months in my opinion. If you want to go a little bit longer, 6 months is fine. Step 2, you want to set a growth budget, okay? What percentage of your profits will you reinvest in growing the business? For example, this might be 30% every single month into marketing, like running ads to get more clients and more customers on YouTube, for example, as a traffic channel to scale your coaching business, your agency business, your consulting business, or your info product and course business. And again, this depends on your growth goals. It might even be 50%. back into your business between ads, marketing, or team and infrastructure like AI agents to speed up value delivery. Step 3, you want to establish a Bitcoin investing strategy, okay? This could be as simple as converting 20% of your monthly profits that you take home every single month personally after you pay your team, your overhead, your salaries, everything, and you reinvest back into your business into Bitcoin. All right, you can just one lump sum buy it, or you can dollar cost average and set it up on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, okay? This is a fixed amount you invest no matter what every single week. This might be the most important step of all 5, okay? Because you want to pay yourself first. Paying yourself means investing in your long-term wealth. So you want to set this up and make sure it happens every single month. Now, step 4 is to set up the infrastructure, okay? You need a cold storage device to store your Bitcoin. This is really easy to set up nowadays, and there's plenty of videos on YouTube, so I'm not gonna tell you how to do it here, but I personally recommend getting a cold storage wallet like a Trezor, Cold Card, or a Blockstream Jade. And again, there's plenty of videos on YouTube showing you how to set this up. Now, step 5, automate the process. Set up automatic transfers from your business checking account to your personal checking account, and then from your personal checking account to your Bitcoin cold storage account or your exchange, wherever you're buying your Bitcoin, okay? This is important so you don't have to think about it each and every month. So for example, what I do is I have bi-weekly distributions, transfers from my business checking account, paying me in my salary plus owner distributions to my personal checking account. Okay. Then I also have a bi-weekly DCA, dollar cost average, where I buy Bitcoin each and every month, no matter what the price is, automatically happening from my personal checking account the day after I get paid. So that way I can keep accumulating more Bitcoin, more sats, more Satoshis, and eventually my wealth will continue compounding and I'll have more and more Bitcoin each and every year, as opposed to the person who's just one-click buying maybe once a year. This makes it super easy. You want to make this process automatic. This is very easy to do, so don't overcomplicate this. The key here that I want to emphasize is consistency, okay? This isn't about timing the market or making a one-time move. It's about systematically protecting your wealth from the hidden tax of currency debasement. The screenshot my friend sent me was a wake-up call. It made visible what's normally invisible to you and me, the silent erosion of our purchasing power, a dollar losing its value each and every day. And we don't even see it until a year later we realize everything's more expensive. And as business owners, we're uniquely positioned to do something about this. We have control over our income, our expenses, how we allocate our profits. Yes, scaling your business is still important. It's the main thing you can do right now. Going from 30K a month to 100K plus per month in profit will absolutely improve your life and create more opportunities. Don't get me wrong here. That's why I have my business in the first place and love working with clients like you who want to scale with YouTube ads and AI systems. But I don't make the mistake of thinking that making more dollars alone will solve everything. We're currently moving from the old financial system to a new system we've never seen before, from dollars to digital currency in a world where money is being debased at an unprecedented rate, aka they just keep printing more dollars into oblivion, which in turn increases the cost of everything for you and for me. You need to think differently about how to store the value you create and what to store it in that cannot be debased. The business owners and entrepreneurs and everyday people who will thrive in the coming years aren't just the ones who make the most dollars. They're the ones who best preserve the value of those dollars by converting them to something that cannot be manipulated. And this is exactly why I recommend you start getting paid in Bitcoin. And in this video, I explain why being paid in Bitcoin makes way more sense and how to start accepting it as payment for your business. Now, keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial expert, but I am just simply telling you what I'm doing to hopefully enlighten you on what you might want to do too. And if you're a coach, course creator, or consultant, or agency owner looking to automate your client acquisition and scale using YouTube ads and AI systems, click the link in the description to join my school community to get our free YouTube ads mini course and join 3,000 plus other business owners and entrepreneurs like you scaling with ads that actually convert. I'll see you in this video right here. Cheers.